So apparently, Jake Tapper is missing out on things again. Like he missed out on Joe Biden's mental capacity for the last 4 years. So Jake Tapper pretending not knowing about Mamdani praised Hamas, the Palestinian terrorist organizations in Gaza. So he was interviewing Eric Adams, and apparently he said that he didn't know about anything about Mamdani praising Hamas. So let's see.
So I want to turn to your likely Democratic challenger, Mamdani, because you said recently that the Jewish community in New York should be concerned about him. You've accused him of using anti-Semitic rhetoric. What specifically has Mamdani said that you think is anti-Semitic?
Are you serious? Are you serious, Jake? Dude, he's doing this again. I can guarantee you, like maybe in 4 or 5 years, they're gonna write a book about Mamdani. Revelations.
Hamas is a dangerous terrorist organization that should be destroyed. When you embrace the philosophies of Hamas, not only what they do to their own people, but what they did in Gaza to lift them up and praise them, I think that's a clear indicator that something is wrong with that. But he has to
when did he praise Hamas? I don't recall him ever praising Hamas.
Here we go. Here he goes again with Jake Tapper. I don't recall that.
There's several videos, even during his days of being a rap artist,
he
praising
did.
Hamas and other terrorist groups. And so, a little research, you'll be able to find it. But
He's not going to do that. Are you really going to ask Jake Tapper to do a research? He relies on his. He has employees to do that for him. He's not going to do that.
Competing against him only.
He does his research like 30 minutes before the segment.
For what he's done and praising Hamas. I'm competing against him because this is not a socialist city. And that much of what he's promising the people, which I...
Not yet, dude. Not yet. You guys skip it up in New York, that's going to become a socialist, and everyone's gonna flock there because I mean, it sounds good. It sounds good. What's Mamdani is practically praising him, saying things about free stuff and free there, And Eric Adams, he recognized that, even though he's not your typical conservative or libertarian in many ways, but just recently he turned around, he got out of the Democratic Party. He's running independent now because he realized that, what's going to happen is when Zohran becomes mayor, you're going to see a lot of illegal immigrants go there. You're going to see a lot of criminals go there in New York. You're going to see a lot of people, going there to New York. Because it's a utopia. He's going to build his own, ways of distributing things and holding into power. That's how the socialists work, man. It sounds good though on papers, but it's just a matter of time, But with this Hamas, I looked into. I'm going to show you the video in a little bit here. When he was a rapper back in 2017, he was like praising all of this, and he also called on Intifada. Mamdani did, and a lot of people say that's not what it means. That's not what it means. Okay.
I think is really deplorable. People that are struggling, like my family did, living without the means that we needed, when you promise them that you're going to give everything away free and you don't have the authority as the mayor to do so, he doesn't have the authority to raise income tax on the top 1% of New Yorkers. Assemblymen have that authority, and that's who he is. He couldn't do it in assembly. How are you going to deliver it as the mayor of the city?
Well, he has. I mean, he obviously caught the imagination of a lot of Democratic voters. His victory was pretty handy. You're talking about rent freezes, which he does have the power to do, free bus service, universal child care, creating city-run grocery stores. Do you disagree with those programs, or just he doesn't have the authority to do it on his own?
Okay, right. Let's see what he has to say.
Let's go back. You said rent freeze. He has the authority to do so. No, he does not.
Of course.
There's the independent rent guideline boards that independently make that decision. So he does not have the authority to do that.
That's what it sounds good on the people who are renting, or maybe they think that it's they're paying a little too much on those rent. It sounds good. I mean, if I'm, like I said, if you're going to freeze my mortgage payment, for a couple of weeks, couple of months, I mean, it sounds good. So I can just, save that money and buy me something, put that in something that's more, or investing or something like that. But that's not going to happen because, that's different than renting. But when he says it's freezing rent, a lot of people are going to really flock into that ideas because of, they're going to think it's free. It's like, that's something I can get into, getting free rent, but it's not free. Someone's going to have to pay for that. And, the landlords are probably, unless they're going to get something out of it, but in most cases that is not going to happen.
He had the authority to do free buses. I gave him a pilot project to do when he was in the assembly. He failed to carry out on it. 4 years in the assembly, he has not passed one bill. He's making promises to people who are really struggling that he can't deliver on. The foundation of all the things he wants to do for free is coming from an income tax increase on 1%. He does not have the authority as the mayor.
Yeah. So when Mamdani is preaching about, if someone's asking him, where are you going to get all the money to run all this free stuff that you're talking about? And he's always saying it's like all the socialists, that's like AOC, that we will tax the rich because it's unfair. They're not putting their fair share when it comes to tax. Believe me, I'm not rich, And again, how do you define being rich? They're talking about just 1%, of the rich folks in New York City. What's going to happen? If I'm one of those 1%er, I'm going to take my business somewhere else. I'm going to take my business out of New York City, or out of that state, out of New York State. And that has been proven. I mean, look at Elon Musk. He's moving all his headquarters out of California. I don't know if he still have headquarters in California, but it's because of the policy like that. So unless Mamdani and all the socialist people that would entice this 1%er to keep their businesses in the city, but then again, you are playing right on the hand of those 1%. If you think they're evil, don't you think that they're going to take advantage of you? All those incentives that you're giving away to those 1%er. I mean, even I just saw like a couple of years back, that one of the states, I think New Jersey or somewhere in the East Coast, that they ran an ad about encouraging them to bring or to move their businesses back into that state, and with that, it comes with incentives. Is that what they're going to do? The question is, I guess what I'm trying to say is, how are you going to keep those businesses in New York City? without giving them any incentives? You know, are you going to take their money, still get their money out? Are you going to tax them to the teeth, that they're going to just, you know, because they have this choice. They have this choice to move out of the state, out of the city. That's what's going to happen. But anyway, I'm rambling about it.
To do that, he has the authority as an assemblyman, and he did not accomplish everything he's talking about doing now. He could have done in the state, but he failed to do so.
Yep. So again, Jake Tapper. Look at Jake Tapper's face. He's always looked like that. It looks like his, you know, his constipated. But anyway, the video that I was talking about earlier is the one that when he said, what did he say? Right here, right? About the Hamas, when he praised the Hamas.
In 2017, Zorhan Mamdani released a rap track that praised 5 convicted Hamas funders known as the Holy Land Five. Now he wants to run New York.
Nice beat, though.
Mamdani says, look him up. So we did. These 5 men were convicted of funneling over $12 million to Hamas, a U.S. designated terrorist organization responsible for the murder, rape, and kidnapping of civilians, including Americans. Mamdani sent his love to convicted Hamas funders. Let that sink in. Mamdani says, no wall will make it fall. That's an open door for criminals and chaos. Zohran Mamdani stands with convicted terrorist funders and wants open borders. This is New York City, not a sanctuary for terrorists. Zohran Mamdani, unfit, un-American, unthinkable.
Yeah. That's, and if you ask him directly, of course he's going to like dance around that. That's not what it means. That's not what I meant, you know. He just like any of this, just like the New York, not New York, just like in Chicago, you know, the mayor in Chicago, the same thing. You know, they'll say something like outrageous, and then when you ask them directly, they just dance around it. You know, just like when Mamdani said that about the Intifada, you know, that's not what it means. And people, you know, to his defense, they said that the word Intifada is not actually what it means now. You know, that's how they play games, man. That's how they play games. But again, I don't live in New York City, you know. But then again, I like following this kind of news because it's almost like close to home here, because I live in just north of Chicago, and you know, the rise of AOC and the rise of the socialist, Democrat socialist, it's interesting to me. You know, I find that interesting. So let's see. Then again, he won. Mamdani won the the Democratic primary mayor, so he's going to go against Adams. So in November, so we'll see that. I'm going to follow that and see what's going on. But you know, okay. Well, you keep it here. Thank you for some of those. A lot of people, you know, watching my videos. Thank you for watching my videos, even though most of the time we do not agree on things. Thank you for commenting. Thank you for expressing your opinion. You know, but it is what it is. You know, we're gonna have to agree to disagree. So until next time, follow me for more outrageous videos. And like, if you like it or not, but if you watch this video, you're gonna have click the like and turn on that notification bell if you want to hear more. So until next time, keep it here.